This is an interesting topic. I'm surprised every time. Morning, everyone. Welcome. Oop, I just got a text. Morning, everyone. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 2. It is December 2nd. It is 8 o'clock. I'm just about to have my breakfast, which I eat the same thing every single day. 2 eggs, half an avocado. Sometimes I don't have the avocado, and some chipotle lime mayo. That probably sounds really gross. Will thinks it's really gross. If you don't know who Will is, that's my husband. If you don't know who I am, I'm Arwen. I'm an OT. I'm going to be making daily videos for you all for the next 23 days. I'll keep getting text messages. Today is Monday. I have 6 kids scheduled today. A mixture. Actually, I think there's 5 visits and then 1 evaluation, and I have an evaluation at 9. I need to charge my phone, so I have a work phone that has not been charged since since I've been on vacation, since it's been the holidays. So I need to charge that really quick so I can at least get caught up and send text messages and reminders and make sure that everyone is actually still confirmed today. So other than that, after work, I'm going to stop by Target and return a table runner that I bought. I actually bought this Christmas table runner, if you can see that. But they sent me 2, and I guess I ordered 2, so I need to return that, and then I need to get a couple of things for work. So I'm just about to leave for work, but I thought I would open the OT question of the day before I leave in case I want to talk about it during the day. So I'm going to go ahead and open number 2. Well, what is it going to be? Oh, this is a long one. Okay. Ooh, this is an interesting topic. I'm surprised every time I wrote the darn questions. Okay, so this one says, can men be OTs? I feel like that's an obvious answer, yes, but maybe you didn't know that. And second part, do we need more male OTs? So I'm going to head off to work, let you ponder that, and then I will check in a little bit later. I'm at the first visit. I got here a little bit early. There was not any traffic, which was odd, but I just wanted to share this because it's pretty comical. I turned on my phone, and all the text messages came flooding in, and 4 out of 6 visits have canceled today, which is lovely. Unfortunately, it's due to not good reasons. Lots of people are sick. It's that time of year. I've got 2 kids in the hospital, so it's really unfortunate. So I just thought I would fill you in, since I was just laughing to myself that of course this would happen on the first day back. So usually what I do in this situation is I will try and see if any of my other families are available, which is sometimes hard, short notice. And then I'll send a text to my team saying, hey, I'm available if anyone needs an eval or need help with anything. And if not, then I will go to the office and do some paperwork. I will see y'all after work. I'm probably not going to check in again. Just wanted to share that with y'all really quick. And then we can talk about men in occupational therapy. Woo-hoo. And we're back. So it is the end of the day, well, end of the workday. It is 6:30. I just finished submitting all of my documentation for the day. We were successful in returning my tablecloth to Target, and now we can talk about what happens when all of your patients cancel. I experienced that today, as you know. I just got back from holidays, so I had not checked my work phone. I turned it on and immediately got a rush of text messages from family members requesting to cancel. Like I said before, most of them due to illness. I would say that's the #1 reason that My clients cancel is because they're sick or they have a conflicting appointment, usually a doctor's appointment. But the question is, what do you do when that happens? So in my case, working in home health and doing sort of travel therapy, there's a couple of options. The first one is I will text other families that I know might be available. There's some families that I know it doesn't matter when I text them. They're only going to want their scheduled spot. But some parents want makeup visits. Some families want, some families are okay with having a last minute appointment and saying, hey, I can come earlier, or hey, can I come at this time instead of Thursday at 2? So it really just depends on the family, and I kind of know the families. Stop texting me. I know the families well enough, and I kind of know their schedule. Sorry, I'm just so popular. And I know their schedule well enough to know who to offer those visits to. The other thing that I do is send a quick text to my team. We have a group chat, and I usually say, hey, I had cancellation from this time to this time. Do y'all need help with anything? Which usually means like an evaluation or, yeah, just an evaluation to keep it simple. We also do case management, so sometimes I can help with case management if that is needed. If not, I typically just go back to the office and catch up on paperwork, send emails. I mean, there's always usually something to do. In other settings, like in outpatient, so if you work in outpatient peds or outpatient with adults, that's really hard when patients cancel because it's hard to find someone last minute to fill that spot. And then you end up with a lot of time on your hands. So when I worked in outpatient pediatrics, that was the hardest thing, is like sometimes having like multiple hours of nothing to do, and you start like reorganizing filing cabinets, and you know most of the time patients cancel, they usually have a legitimate reason. They're not just canceling to cancel. And if for some reason it gets to that point, or I feel like it is, I'll let them know. It's okay if you don't want therapy. Your child will most likely continue to benefit, but it is your choice, and I cannot force therapy upon you, and it might not be a good time in your life for therapy. But for the most part, all of my cancellations are legitimate, and I am typically able to keep up my productivity. I don't have so many cancellations like I did today. If I had that many cancellations every day, it would become a big problem, but that is not typical by any means. Tomorrow I have 7 kiddos scheduled, and that kind of will balance and cancel out what happened today. I know some of you have asked if I get paid hourly or salary, and I am salary, so my income is not dependent upon how many kids I see in a day, but that is not the case for a lot of home health OTs, PTs, speech therapists. A lot of home health companies will pay you by the visit, and so they might work a little bit harder to make up their visits, but I mean, I try to meet my productivity every single month, and it's not dependent upon the day. My productivity is looked at for the entire month and how many visits I do within the month. And so being as it is December 2nd, I have plenty of time to make up these visits, although it will be more difficult because of the Christmas season. So yeah, we'll figure it out. It's not a huge deal. But hopefully that answers your questions on how I deal with cancellations. Okay, now on to the main question of the day, which is, do we need more male OTs? And the answer is yes. So a quick Google search says that only 10% of OTs are males, which is a very low percentage. So that means 90% of OTs are women. And the other percentage of that I wanted to look into was, I believe that, probably 75% of that 90% are like white females, if I'm not mistaken. So there's definitely room for increasing the diversity in the OT profession. When I was in OT school, we had 45 students in our class, and 3 of them were male. A shout out to Adele, Jared, and PJ. What's up, guys? But having them in the class brought so many different personalities. I mean, each of them were so different in their personalities and the way that they thought and the things that they were interested in and focused on. So they just, having them in our class brought a completely different dynamic than I think it would have been if it was an all-female class, which I know is very, very common in OT school, and I just feel like, ugh, what a sorority, you know. And there were those, and you know, I just, if that's what OT school is like, I can only imagine the profession, you know, being almost all female. Which isn't to say that's a bad thing. It's good to have homogeneity and to have, you know, similar experiences and beliefs and reasons to want to become an OT, which I think is one thing that is neat about OTs in general, is that a lot of us are very similar in terms of our personality, things that we care about. But that doesn't mean that men cannot be an OT just because they don't share those characteristics, or they should be OTs because they share those characteristics. And I mean, there's so much going on with gender right now, and not that I want to get into any of that by any means, but long story short, we do definitely need more men as OTs. I think possibly one of the drawbacks for men wanting to become an OT is that OT is kind of seen as a caretaking profession. So similar to nursing, you know, I'm not sure what the stats are on nursing, but I'm, you know, sure that the majority of nurses are still women, and there's a very low percentage of male nurses. And I know that sometimes they get a bad rap and they're looked down upon for being a male nurse, even though there's nothing wrong with that. But I think the same thing goes for OT, is that OT is seen as a very caretaking profession, and men might not have those characteristics, or they might not, and those characteristics might not come as easily for some men. For a lot of men it does, or they just may not have that passion to help people in that way. But as OTs, we deal with very intimate and personal problems. We help with dressing and bathing, and you know, some men may not be comfortable with that, but that is all the more reason to have more male OTs, because there are many men that don't feel comfortable having a female bathing with them or helping them to get dressed. So those are my thoughts on male OTs. You know, I'm not digging in and like doing a bunch of research for you guys. There are a couple articles out there that I wasn't able to access for some reason. One on AJOT, so the American Journal of Occupational Therapy. They did a survey in 2018. They asked male and female OTs a specific set of questions, but I wasn't able to access it. If I can, I will link it down below. But if you are a male, I know the majority of my viewers are female, but if you're a male and you're interested in OT, hit me up, leave a comment. The other thing is, people just don't know about OT in general, and I think just the more education we can get about OT, it will help spur on getting more men into the profession. And I will say, if you are a man and you apply to OT school, there's a high percentage, a high likelihood that you will get accepted, just because they are trying to diversify the profession in general. The other thing to consider is that I think people kind of pigeonhole OT into those, like I said before, the caretaking profession and just helping people with those activities of daily living, like dressing, bathing, self-care, you know, those general things, when there's so many other fields that you can get into as OT that might be more interesting to men, like doing more rehabilitation, doing more assistive technology and like prosthetics. The amount of technology and growth in rehabilitation regarding the hand and the arm is incredible right now, and I think a lot of men might be more interested in that, maybe more ergonomic, scientific part of OT. The other thing that I just thought of is that OT is also very physically demanding, and I know that when I did my field work in an acute care setting in a hospital, a lot of times we did rely on the male OT, and there was also a male occupational therapy assistant, and they came in handy a lot, because transferring big guys and big ladies is not easy. If you didn't know, I'm only 4'10", 105 pounds. So transfers can be very stressful on the body, and not that anyone should be doing transfers that should hurt themselves, but it is easier to do that as a large male. So that's the other thing to consider, is that, it's a physically demanding job, and we need men to assist us with those sometimes, ladies, even though we don't want to admit it. Okay, so I think that's all my thoughts. Again, like I said, I'm not like researching this in depth. I'm just kind of giving you my free flowing consciousness of thoughts about this topic. I could disagree with what I said tomorrow, but I think that is going to be it. I'm gonna make some salmon for dinner, and we didn't watch The Mandalorian last night because we had to watch football. And guess what? More football tonight. So I don't know if we're gonna see The Mandalorian. I really need to see what happens to Baby Yoda. What else? I think that's it for the day. I have rambled on long enough. I will see y'all tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 3. We'll tackle another question together, and leave me comments because I really like answering y'all's questions. Not that it's because I don't know what to talk about, but it is fun. Someone commented about an assessment that I've never used before. I'm going to look into that for them. But yeah, have a good night, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.